How are we doing, folks? Welcome back to another episode of The Search. This is episode number 2. Today I had the chance to sit down with James O'Mara. He's a local business owner here in Waterford. He's co-founded 2 businesses, the first one being the burger truck, the second one being Well Fed. He's since sold the burger truck, so now his sole business venture is Well Fed. I've always been really interested in James's story, to start up your first business at 20 and then start up your second business at 22. To me, that's pretty impressive and quite inspiring. So I've always wanted to sit down and talk to him about what it takes to start your first business, pivot into your second business, and even in both those businesses, have them be really successful business models. So that's what we talked about today. Hope you guys enjoy, and without further ado, roll the clip. Right, let's start at the beginning. Usually a good place to start.
Yes. In the beginning.
In the beginning, what made you actually start up your business enterprise, let's say, the burger truck, or any sort of business mind?
Yeah, well, it actually, you're going to get some behind the scenes knowledge now. It actually didn't start with the burger truck.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't great in school. It was grand, but just never appealed to me. So after school, I didn't know what to do. Went traveling for the year. During traveling, I thinking about something. You're thinking, all right, at one point I'm going to have to go back. And what am I going to do when I go back?
Real world, yeah.
Yeah. And I called Dara one day, and I said, well, man, what's your story? And he goes, well, in September I'm going to go back to college. What if you didn't do that?
What are you going to do? What are you going to do in college?
Yeah, where's that going to go, really?
Yeah.
No, I said, what if we did this food truck? You know, just an idea. And he said, I have to think about it. Following morning, he called me back. I'm in.
Boom. He obviously did not want to go to college.
He didn't go. That's what I've been saying. Now, I don't know. He probably regrets that decision.
Yeah.
He probably always regrets that decision. But I flew back to Ireland. Started working and saving. Obviously, we had never done it before, so we were starting from
ground zero,
the fucking dash. We were saving up, thinking of everything: names, menus, logos, and during that, we came up with this side idea, which would be renting out portable chargers for your phone. Okay. So we basically we actually have them in the other room. I'll show it to you afterwards. Now, they never took off.
Okay, so it was going to be the power truck before the burger truck.
It's going to be the power truck, yeah.
Okay.
Like this little vending machine. And you would tap your phone and it would rent you out a portable charger.
Yeah. Good idea, though.
Yeah.
If you're around the town, your phone's dead, it nights out and stuff like that, man.
Exactly.
How many times do you hear people saying, I don't have charge left my phone, they're drunk, whatever?
Exactly.
Perfect little...
Yes. Yeah, so that was the start. You know, that was the first one that, even though we were working on the burger truck, that happened first. We spent money on these portable charger things from China or somewhere.
Temu, of course.
We started, it just didn't work. The burger truck ended up opening, and then we just completely forgot about them then.
Yeah.
But there was that. But the burger truck was just 12 months of saving. Saving.
Were you working a job as well as making the burger truck and setting that up?
Yeah, me and Dara were both working in a restaurant.
Okay.
So I was chef and he was waiter.
Okay.
Yeah, and just if there was any hours going,
you're taking
them because they were both going to the same place.
And then on the side, then you're trying to juggle, doing all the trucks. I saw, man, you were doing off the truck, like you were doing that. The TikTok and stuff.
Yeah, we went down to Cork and we bought the truck off Dundee.
Yeah.
I think we paid $2,000 or something.
Yeah.
For the truck, it was a shell.
Yeah, it was.
The wall was falling down.
Crazy.
Everything.
Yeah.
It was just it needed a full revamp for sure. I remember walking into it the first day going, I can't believe this is ours. Like, it was just like.
Well, cool feeling though.
Yeah, really.
I know you're here now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Do you know what I mean?
It is crazy, but it was really, really cool.
Yeah.
But we got the truck and. We just started working on it, putting in the floors, putting in the walls, the extraction, all that kind of stuff. I don't think we knew what had to be done until we started paying for it. But as I said, we were working 6-7 days a week. We were probably working 70 or 80 hours a week for someone else at the time,
that's
you know. And then any extra hours was spent doing up the truck, because in our head we had to be open for summer.
Yeah.
Because if we weren't, it had to be next summer. You
Hey
know?
man, and I remember that first day, the burger truck, I was working out in the surf shop in Tremor.
Yeah,
I walked in, I
man.
was like, boys, what's going on? Man, lying down the prom nearly.
It was crazy, man.
So I suppose in the marketing and stuff for that, like obviously you did a great job there.
Yeah.
You know, so the TikTok probably definitely helped there, I would imagine.
Yeah, like when we bought the truck, we had a conversation that was like, right, there's plenty of food trucks. How do we make it different? From the start?
Yeah.
There has to be a story, you know, they have to connect to everyone.
Which is, social media nowadays.
Social media.
Everything has to have a story.
Exactly.
If you're going to be invested in it.
Yeah, exactly. So then we literally just recorded everything.
Yeah.
Recorded hundreds and hundreds of hours of us putting up a wall and forgetting to put in the nails. You know, like, it was stupid stuff.
Yeah,
like.
but man, that's so important. You know,
Yeah,
like looking back at it now, that's probably, you know, people who start out and maybe start successful, like let's say you did. Now, obviously, the work that went in was crazy, but other people might put in the crazy work. They don't document it,
Yeah.
and then it's just like,
and then it's
empty.
It's lost. You know, and like stuff that went bad on the day actually went good for the video. You know,
win-win.
Yeah.
It goes good or else it goes bad, and then the video's good.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah.
Exactly, and we just had all this stuff. We didn't even look at anything until towards we're coming into summer now, and the truck was nearly ready.
Yeah.
And then we had no spot for it.
Man, because you got the best spot in Waterford nearly, which I don't know how you looked out on that. Maybe you can allude to a bit of that.
We had no spot for it. We were going to the council asking for permits.
Yeah.
You know, is there food yards we can go to anywhere? No, it was not happening. And we're probably a month out now. You know, from when we planned to open.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
All this work.
But
sure, if you can't sell burgers,
man,
it's not going to end well. So
that was it.
Yeah.
And we ended up looking out the spot that we got. We're chatting to the landlord, and you know, saying, you know, could we lease it off you for the summer, you know, or how would that work? Again, we hadn't a clue what we were looking for, you know. Like it's a different story now, but like,
of course.
But like back then, I was 20, I don't know, 19, 20 or something, and it just all we wanted to do was open.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got it. We got it for the summer, and that was when we started posting the videos then, because we thought, right, we have it now.
Yeah.
The contract is signed. We're moving in.
We're back.
Let's press the big red button. And we started hyping it up. Posted the first video, and I remember me and Dara, we used to live in an apartment on Manor Street in Waterford.
Yeah.
And we posted the video after hours of trying to edit it. I remember sitting in I used to own a Passat outside the apartment on our phone, refreshing. 100 views, refreshing, 200 views.
Yeah, that's class. But that's class though, especially if the video's doing well.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
I think we got like 2,000 followers overnight.
Man, I remember when you started and how fast you like blew the Instagram.
Man,
and I was like, man, like you're at 5,000 followers. Like, man, is this gonna slow down?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It just didn't stop, and like we had like 2,000 followers before we even opened, or something like that.
I remember it was crazy. I remember the marketing was crazy. Yeah.
And there was no budget, like, you know, it was just me and Dara. We didn't have like someone following us around with a camera. It was
guys today,
It was just like, oh, here, coffee cup, set up the phone like that, and then we'll just do what we're going to do.
Well, man, I suppose that shows how little you actually need to start.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and then like you said, when you started at 20, you had no idea what you're doing. You start, you're going to figure it out.
You just have an idea, and I'd say if I went back now and looked at, all right, what is our plan, 5-year plan? We probably got 1 year in and it changed.
Yeah, I was gonna say 5 weeks or 5 months or something.
Exactly.
Like, you know,
like at one point we wanted to have a burger truck in every county. You know, we were actually in Limerick. This is going off topic now a little bit, but we were in Limerick viewing a restaurant. Oh. That we were thinking, you know, could we actually
go into this?
Like,
go into this kind of line. Yeah.
But look, that was that. We opened up in whatever it was, May or June of 2023, and I remember the first weekend that we opened, we sold out every day. So it was so busy that on Sunday morning, me and Dara both got in the car on the way out to Tremor, and I was like, I didn't want to go out there.
remember you told me something like that. Because I was telling you, like, man, you're selling out the whole time. And then it was in the food yard, I think, and you were telling me inside Waterford, inside the town. And you were like, Harry, man, them days were...
It was so tough. Like
that was like hell.
Yeah,
you know?
because we were so underprepared, you know, like
you can tune
oh, you know, we might sell, you know, 50 burgers, and then we sold hundreds and hundreds, you know. But
Good
like we didn't have the manpower. We didn't have the manpower.
That is true. You definitely didn't have.
Our equipment was like suitable for small catering, you know, not like what we had.
A few hundred burgers.
But then, you know, as the weeks went on, we got good, and you know, we ended up hiring 2 or 3 staff, and that took a bit of the heaviness off. But that summer, like, always beautiful. Probably my favourite summer.
Yeah, well, man, when you look back on it, that's the summer it all started.
Yeah,
you know? And it started well.
It did, yeah.
Well.
You know, and then you learn as you're going on. You learn like about all the stock, profit percentages,
the boring stuff, maybe,
stuff.
As they say.
Yeah, you know, at the start, you're like, can't believe we sold so many burgers.
And then it's like, oh, I've got
hold on
to
now.
more stock.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. But no, it was mental. But that summer, we were putting in serious hours. Like, you know, we close up at 10 o'clock in the night. Yeah. We clean down by maybe 11. We go home. We'll be back in at 6 or 7 to start prepping to open for 11 or 12. You know,
man, that's crazy.
It was just ruthless. You know, it was non-stop.
Like those hours, and I suppose kind of bringing it back, what made you? Not many people would want to work 70, 80 hours straight out of school. Yeah. They'd rather go to college. They'd rather the social life. They'd rather all that kind of stuff, which is fair, I think. What kind of made the difference with you? Like you phoning Dara being like, Dara, do you want to maybe start a food truck? Yeah. Where's that stemming from? Why for you wasn't it, I'll go to college. You know what, you did take a gap year, but why not, I'll just go into another job and try and figure out what I want. What made you actually start? Was it frustration that I have so much to give? Like, let's say school didn't give that for you, and you know you have so much to give, but you just don't know where to put it? Or what was it that, on the deeper level, let's say, that made you actually want to start something yourself, let's say? Yeah,
it was, when I was traveling, I remember thinking, I was living in Barcelona, and I was working as a chef in Barcelona and wherever, but I remember thinking, just I'd love to do this all the time. You know, I'd love to be able to just, now saying that, now I have no time to do any of that.
Of course, but these things develop and they evolve.
But I remember thinking, I want to do something different.
Yeah.
You know, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. What am I able to do? I'm able to cook. All right, so let's start with that.
Boom,
you know,
good skill. You can bring it anywhere, you know what I mean? So good skill.
Yeah, so that was it. You know, there was no like, wake up and this entrepreneurial...
Guys, this is my day.
Yeah, no.
70 hours a week. 70 hours a week.
There was like none of the, you know, work from a laptop from Bali kind of, you know what I mean? Like, I just didn't know. I didn't want to be an entrepreneur, but I just didn't know what I wanted to do.
Yeah, okay, fair.
And then when the idea of a food truck, you know, what can I do? I can cook. Mm-hmm. I'm nowhere near opening up my own restaurant. You know, that's years away. And I wouldn't even want to know, but what can I do now? You know, or in 12 months' time? Food trucks. Looking at Dundee, you know, these food trucks are actually not as expensive as I thought, and we could actually cheap it out and then build it ourselves. You know, and now it's possible. I know, it's possible now. So let's fucking do it.
Yeah.
But that was it. It was just, I didn't know what to do, and I wanted to do something different.
Yeah, but for me, I still find that really impressive, because so many people don't know what they want to do, and they just go into a job where they're just like, look, I'll go into this job, 9 to 5, I'll get my wage, and it's fine. But like, you taking the route of, right, we're going, like, there's no going back, we are going 70 hours a week working hard. Like, to me, like, I would have thought, because I never had a chance to ask you that, I would have thought that for you it's always going to be entrepreneurship. It's always going to be entrepreneurship. It's just in school, I don't know how to harness that. I don't know how to.
And look, maybe it was.
Maybe so. Yeah.
Maybe it was, but what I can just remember is being away and thinking, I want to make money. Yeah. You know, I want to make money. I don't want to go the normal route. Yeah. I want to be able to do this stuff. Yeah. But how do you do that if you don't have any money? Mm-hmm. I could make money for someone else, but then I can't do this, you know.
Yeah.
But as I said, completely contradicting, because now I'm here, and you know we're all working. Everyone here is working serious hours, and you know building this thing. So yeah. But now I enjoy this.
Great.
You know, so yeah.
But even I think that's another thing that you say, like, now I enjoy it. Like at the start when you're not good at something, I feel like it's so easy to be like, well, sure, if I'm not good at something, how am I supposed to like it? You know what I mean? Not even that, now I do things I'm bad at that I still like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, you know, I feel like people don't give themselves maybe the amount of time they need to find out if they actually do like something, give themselves the chance to get better.
Yeah.
And then be like, well, maybe this is something I want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Know? And look, like a big thing for me was the business partners that I had.
100%.
And have, you know,
the boys,
like yeah. Here, the only reason why here has grown so fast is because of that.
Yeah.
Burger Truck, I could say, I could have started it, but it would not have got to where it was if two of us weren't doing it. You know, two of us on the same mission, on the same goal, and putting in the same amount of work. But you know, the ideas, you know, how are we going to do this next, or you know, what would we do? Because when it got to September, we were homeless again. You know, after summer, now, all right, we had to move the truck.
Yeah, let's figure it out, or else where are we going, lads, you know?
Exactly, yeah. So like...
That's some step to take though, boy. That is...
Yeah.
I feel like it's probably important to take that step too and try something and see if it's going to work. Because I mean, at the end of the day, if it didn't work, like you said, you had that experience of being the chef.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's not what you wanted to do, but maybe maybe the traveling, maybe you like that. Maybe you could do a bit more traveling and be the chef. But like, I mean, if you have a skill and you think you can make something of yourself, I mean, you might as well try. Like, you know.
It's funny because now like I find my goal is building the business, you know, or a business, you know, going forward, building business.
Yeah.
And drive it on, like even here with the brand, and you know, all three of us, like Jeff does a lot of the marketing, well, all the marketing, a lot of marketing.
Which was obviously very good because the burger truck, he was still used with you guys at the burger truck too?
Yeah.
So like obviously he had the...
But like he came in and, you know, he was running the burger truck social media. Whenever we do a catering event, he was there.
Yeah.
You know, like that took that to get into the next level now.
Yeah.
So like for here, it was an essential.
Yeah.
You know, but it's enjoyable. You know, like even the new menu that we got. You know, like.
Looks great.
Yeah.
Wish I could show the camera right now, but it does look great. You're gonna have to believe me. It looks great.
Thank you, but like I would never think to do that. No, but that's where you have Jeff.
Yeah, man. But that's even what you're saying. You have three different people. You know, maybe you have one skill, Jeff has another skill, and someone else has another skill.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, you can come together on that.
Exactly, but that's why I think we did a talk in the Setu when we first opened here. They invited us down to the business students to do a talk, and someone asked a question, and I remember saying, to me, I think you need to get good partners. You know, it's all well and good going out on your own, and absolutely, you know, like there's nothing wrong with that, and who knows what will happen in the future, but like to start off, you need good partners. You know, just eat, especially like, you know, a group of young lads, you know, are doing something that's enjoyable, and everyone is kind of you're having a laugh as well as
100%. Building that truck must have been a bit of crack, like.
Oh man,
must have been a bit of, like, you look back on them days, man. I'd be like, man, they were like, although I'm working 70 hours a week, but like, if I was gonna work 70 hours a week, that's the way I want to work. I want to work 70 hours a week.
Yeah, but like, that's it. It's good crack.
Yeah, but man, you need that though. If you don't have something being good crack, you're not going to do it.
No, you're not going to do it. You're not going to do it. And then here, then again, like all of us. I mean, we built the whole cafe as well, you know, and doing that while trying to do the burger truck, you know, like.
Sure, you're juggling them two things.
You're
as well,
juggling them two things,
man.
But then like all three of us are sitting down here, and you know we're having a takeaway, and we're just having a laugh.
Yeah, you're like,
you know, like it's really cool, like, you know, it is cool.
Yeah, I suppose that kind of brings on to the next point. I was going to ask, like, you know, I was going to ask a separate block kind of on building the burger truck, but I suppose you're kind of talking about that there, and the main thing I wanted to ask was, you know, was the burger truck, like when you're trying to make that, like you're saying there, you were working savage hours in, I don't know what restaurant it was in, but in the restaurant, was it Brooklyn or is it somewhere else? Brooklyn, okay, so you're working savage hours there. is that to keep yourself financially afloat, because you need to keep revenue coming in to do the burger truck, and then to also, well, I feel like you need to kind of be working hard at something, because then that's going to transfer to the burger truck, you know?
Yeah, like look, Dara he's like numbers man.
Yeah.
You know, he's really good at that kind of stuff. And we were so on it at the time that Dara had a spreadsheet of our shopping bill every week.
Oh, that's good, man. But seeing
for us, you know, we were on a fucking €10 budget probably.
As in for your general spending?
Us,
I thought you were talking about the business. You're talking about like
like there's that as well.
So we're going into Aldi, like.
We're going to Aldi, but it's like you're getting this right because it's priced. You're getting tins of tuna.
Yeah.
We were rationing, like it was.
Yeah.
And like we laugh about it now, like, but rationing, because every cent we had to go towards it. You know, it just had to, because we weren't coming at it from a point of, oh, you know, we have loads of money, so we'll just try that. And who knows?
Sure, it's grand. Like,
it was like, this has to work.
Yeah, it has to work. Yeah, you need to save everything,
Yeah. So like, but then again, you look back at that now, and I'm glad that we did that. You know?
Yeah, and that's even, like, maybe you call that a small consistent thing, every week logging the bill. So building the burger truck down, and even maybe here, but primarily the burger truck at the start, is it mainly small consistent things, or is it going to be more individual posts on Instagram or big things, big events you're working on to build a burger truck? Like, what is it more of? Is it the two together, or is it more, it is just literally brick in the wall every day and you keep showing up to put a brick in the wall every day?
Do you mean like operations wise, or like before you're about to open?
Probably everything. Like, you know, like for instance, you're working, well, I suppose you kind of answer, you're working 7 days a week, so you're always putting something towards the burger truck nearly every day.
For savings wise, you're talking about, is it?
Yeah.
It's just pick a number, you know, whatever you can do.
Yeah.
And again, having a good business partner.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Now you have double, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
You have double, like.
That's a great point.
Like, there's that point when two lads in your young 20s, you don't have thousands to put into a project. Two lads working together, and every week throwing in a few bob.
Quid.
Yeah, and then you get to a point where like, right, we have enough to buy the truck. Let's do it. Truck. All right, now we have enough to buy the grill. Buy the grill. You know, and now we have enough to get this and whatever. I think it took us 12 months. 12 months later, we're looking at this thing going, right, we're ready.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
So impressive, man. So impressive. Like, even because, like, I remember when I came out of college, or not when I came out of college, when I came out of school, I went straight to college. I liked school, so, you know, for me, that was what I thought I wanted to do. But after, you know, the time developed of kind of more experience from traveling, from kind of doing different things and working different jobs, I was kind of like, well, I don't even know if this is kind of for me, you know? So even when I worked my job for a while, I was like, I don't even know if this is for me. So, you know, when I see what you've done, you know, if I was going to give myself some advice going back the way, I'd nearly say, maybe try doing something yourself for a while. Yeah. Even like the social media thing and posting, because man, if you can get some sort of story together, whatever venture you want to go into, then like that's gonna back you.
Yeah.
You know, and that's always what I remember. The social media and the marketing, man, for you guys was so good.
Yeah,
so
and
good.
I actually don't know why it kicked off so much. Maybe it was because at that time, the likes of restaurants or takeaways weren't doing it like that. You know, it wasn't like it was a picture of a meal, but it wasn't like the funny side, you know, or
that's
behind the scenes.
Seeing you guys and your personality in the videos, because I used to watch them, I actually would get a laugh at them. You know, and you're seeing the boys have a bit of personality. You know, if you're going out to get a takeaway or whatever, you're going to get a bit of chat out of the lads, and they're sound lads. You know what I mean? So
that's it. And like we loved it, and when customers would come down, they'd know you, you know. And then, like over time, then we know the customers, and very quickly, what might take a takeaway 5 years to get to know everyone, we got it from posting videos over the course of 3 or 4 weeks. Social media is just crazy.
Man, blessing and a curse.
And it's free. Yeah.
Perfect marketing tool.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Now, of course, you know, it definitely has its downsides, but but if you use it, not even if you know how to use it, if you use it in somewhat right way, it can be the greatest tool. Like.
If you channel it for how it can be used, and not sit and doom scroll, which I had to get rid of. I've said it in the last podcast, I had to get rid of like Instagram and stuff, and I was off Instagram for the last while because like I just get so busy, just like doom scroll, and then even just seeing what other people are doing, which I think as well can nearly be a bit. Like I know I said there, like seeing what you were doing, it made me think maybe I should have tried something myself. But I feel like sometimes it can kind of just confuse you too.
Yeah,
You're looking
of course.
You're looking at so many people, you know, like one guy's doing this, the other guy's doing that, the other guy's doing this, and then before you know it, you're like, man, I'm not even thinking about what I want to do.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Now that's a whole different story that I'm not going to go into because you know I've said it a million times. If I said it once, I've said it a million times. But when the success started coming in with the burger truck, after like the first few months of that, how did you, like even summer, how do you kind of stay, you know, grounded? Like, because I would imagine, man, if I started a business and it started popping like straight away, I'd be like, man, let's go. I'm that guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
you'd be thinking, but you'd be thinking like, man, this is class. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but we were delighted. You know, it was like, I remember somebody, I was like on the grill or something, and one of the customers had ordered, and they were on the phone, and they were talking. Oh yeah, I'm just down at the burger truck, and I remember thinking, that's crazy. Like,
they're saying that.
That's a place now. You know, like their burger truck actually is a name of something. It's not just 3 words. Like, you know, it's just, yeah. Like, I don't think it was. You know, it's not like we had like won the lotto and we're going to go and buy a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
You know, like it was just something that went really well. Yeah. And we were excited to just drive on. Mm-hmm. As I said, by the end of summer, we were looking at, you know, could we put this in a building somewhere? You know, could we go to Limerick or Dublin or Cork? Mm-hmm. You know, could we? Who knows what we could do? It was like that excited feeling, but to drive on mm-hmm. with that rather than take the foot off the gas. Yeah. You know, and again, 2 of us were raring to go like for that.
Same mindset, really important.
Yeah, it is. It's absolutely key.
Yeah, one of you guys, you start making money, you're like, oh, this is great now, you can kind of relax. Then the other fella's like, come on, like, yeah. You need to. So I suppose that's a blessing, man.
Yeah, so, and that was the thing. To go back to before we started, when we were rationing the food, when it got to the end of summer, we were still doing that. Yeah. You know, we didn't take anything. We were there every day, and whatever came in, that went out. You know, we need to get bigger fryers now. You know, we need to get this. We need to start investing properly now. You know, but look, when we got to September, as I said, we had no home. You know, so like that kind of took up a bit of time of like, well, what are we going to do now? Yeah. You know, and then like the marketing side, how are we going to market this? Like, how are we going to say, oh yeah, we lost the spot that we were in?
Well, I remember that because I was thinking to myself, like when you had that place and then when you moved, I was like, obviously 19-year-old Harry, 20-year-old Harry, man, just stay there forever. Why don't you just stay? Yeah. Like, you know, I didn't understand that, you know.
You know what? It was better because when we moved into a spot that's consistent. You know, like 5 or 6 great weeks out on the prom or 12 good months, you know. You want to pick 12 good months 100%. All day. But yeah, I just remember thinking, how do we market this now? You know, because we can't say, it can't be a defeat, you know, it has to be like, guess what?
Yeah.
You know, we're after nailing this new spot in Waterford. It's like not like a second spot, but like, this is the new thing. Yeah. You know, and next thing you know, like we had people just from town being like, go on. Oh, this is class, you know, I didn't come down. So that was that, and like it's such a small thing that they wouldn't even think of, like, oh yeah, you're moving location, oh yeah, cool, but no, all I was thinking was, how the hell do we market this as a good thing? Yeah, you know, because like, look, plenty of people out there that, you know, it's great having people that want to see you do well, but plenty of people don't. Oh man, you know, 100%. So all I was thinking was, this cannot look bad, you know, and it wasn't bad, it was great, and we did talk again about, you know, possibly going back out to Tremor, but we got with this again, so that was that. Yeah, no, it did. But yeah, sorry. If I go off track, just wheel me back in. This is perfect. You are like, I can stay, I can just, as you're telling great stories, then I can just point out. I'll just veer off now. No, that's perfect, man. So. That's perfect. And actually that kind of leads to the next part of you saying, with Well Fed here, and you didn't get Tremor back. What kind of led to the pivot of saying, right, the burger truck is here, but now we're going to go another direction? And then you're in a place where you're kind of balancing 2 businesses, so it feels like you're nearly back to the start again with, I'm working in Brooklyn, and I'm working in the restaurant. And that's it, yeah, that is it. Now we're Burger Truck, and Burger Truck were in town. Which had Winterville, it was really busy again.
Great Winterville, yeah. Really good festival.
We had the kind of leveled out now. You know, we had staff. We were busy, but like it wasn't crazy busy. We were there until late, and we're up at early morning. It was like leveled. We could we could stay like this. Or we could drive on again.
The same little voice in your head.
Exactly, yeah. But I just remember thinking like we had pushed so hard with the marketing. We pushed so hard. No, we got Jeff on board now. We had just pushed all, and we were capped. We could only make so many burgers. You know, we were working off realistically a 5 or 10 kilometer radius of Waterford. You know, I'm just thinking, right? Well, how could we increase that radius to the country?
Yeah.
You know, or half the country. How could we expand our radius? Well, we can't do it with hot food. You know, we were all heavily in the gym at the time. Like, you know, we were gym 6-7 days a week.
Crazy you're doing that as well as all this work.
Yeah, well, look, that was probably a big part of keeping us on track. You know,
mentally
exactly.
I can fully.
Didn't go out. Didn't go. You know, restaurants. It was just work. So the gym was like a break.
The outlet, yeah.
And it was me and Dara at start. And I remember talking and saying, what if we did like a ready meal? You know, something like that, and then we could ship it.
Sounds like a good idea. Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
that was good.
What if, like, you know, what if we did that? And then I was like, would we do it with a burger truck? Like, or how would that work? Anyway, I ended up looking at the market and, you know, looking at the bigger brands that were doing it, and then, you know, it had to be a different company. So, Well Fed was born.
Boom.
Yeah, conversation, and next thing you know, that's what we're on now. You know, we're thinking about that. We're in our house, in our apartment, cooking up stuff. You know, I was thinking that, right, package that, and then we'll leave it in the fridge now for a day. It'll taste it then. Yeah. You know, because this was different now. This is not, right, we're cooking up a cheeseburger. How does it taste now? This is like, no, we're making pasta, but they're going to eat this in 2 days' time. Yeah. You know, so like it was different again, but that was that. And then I remember before any of this, before we even started looking at a place, talking to Jeff and being like, you know, this is what we're doing. Me and Jeff are actually in the gym, and I was driving home, and I get a voice note of Jeff being like, I need to be in on this. Yeah. This is going to be crazy, like, you know. Yeah. And it has the potential to do whatever. And Jeff and Dara didn't know each other like that well. Like,
oh, okay. Yeah. So that was.
I was friends with Jeff, and I was friends with Dara.
So you were the middle guy.
I just knew I knew the both of them.
Yeah.
Dara obviously knew Jeff through filming at the burger truck.
Yeah.
But I went back to Dara, and
Man, that fly likes to look at you, man.
We did look for fly spray at the start.
Yeah.
I remember driving back to Dara and being like, right, I'm gonna play this for you.
See what you think.
Yeah. Played it. The voice note from Jeff, and
rest is history, lads.
Rest is history. Yeah.
Class.
He was like, yeah, let's do it.
But man, taking on another guy who's, you know, like you said, Jeff is tuned in that marketing way. He has all the video, and like maybe you guys don't have that natural instinct.
I'll speak to Jeff. I think it'd be cool for you to do one of these with Jeff.
100%.
Because Jeff has his marketing thing as well. You know, like 100%. For me, it's Burger Truck and Well Fed. Yeah. For Jeff, it's marketing and Well Fed. You know, definitely. And I'll ask him around, but that'd be really cool to see his side of it as well. But yeah, that was it. 3 of us then agreed. Mm-hmm. We, you know, set up the company, signed the contracts with each other.
Oh, the big contracts. Yeah, class. And, so official, man. So cool.
Yeah, and I think the week.
Man, I don't know what we're gonna have to do here now. We're gonna have to bring out the monkey clapper where he's like this thing, man. Where's he gonna do? I don't know.
I think the day before we had agreed, me and Dara had looked at this place. And so we brought Jeff up here anyway, and he was like, yeah, this is it. And I just remember thinking, like, you've seen what this place looked like beforehand. It was like an old fish shop, you know. And I remember still standing at the door looking, going, "This is it. I reckon this is it."
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you know, because at the start there was like you know, we didn't know a cafe, so why would we do a cafe if we're doing ready meals? You know, like it was just ready meals.
Mm-hmm.
And looking back now, thinking, why did we need such a big unit? We could have easily started smaller.
With small, yeah.
You know, but yeah, and he was on board, and then that was that.
Yeah.
You know, we came in here, we started cleaning up, not financially now, cleaning up as in cleaning up the building.
Cleaning the floors.
Cleaning the floors, getting everything ready, and then putting in all the furniture, and
Yeah.
you know.
Cleaning up financially, that was really clear through my head now. Why is your cleaning up?
Yeah, I just came here and started cleaning up.
Straight away. That's so funny, that didn't clap for a second. But the reason then, so coming towards this, and I thought originally this was the case, but I never got the chance to ask you, it was the ceiling. Like the scalability issue of, we have the burger truck, what's going to be...
Yes.
We're here now and we're making, you know, it's not too bad. We're very happy where we're at financially, but it could be that bit more.
Yeah, and like, that is what it was. It was like, I suppose it was probably the first time that it actually leveled out. You know, it leveled out, and then we had time to breathe, time to go, yeah, no, we were successful with that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that little project that we were working on worked.
Yeah.
Which was deadly, and then it was, but you know, we're captained. We're always trying to push on and always trying to get better. But right now, with that, like, you know, we had great customers. The food was great and everything.
The food was great.
But we were capped, and from a business point of view, we wanted to drive on and see. You know, at the time I was probably 22 now, and Dara was 23 or 24. Mm-hmm. We're still very young, you know. Let's go again.
Might as well. Like.
Yeah, let's go again and see what happens.
So that led to because that's what I wanted to say to you there when you were talking about you were making the meals and you were testing them. Man, that was the Instagram stories as well. I remember I'd be seeing James buy bolognese day 2. What I'm saying, and I was like, man, that's, you know, once again, that's good. It's great marketing.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. And what's crazy is at the time, obviously, like anyone locally who knew us knew burger truck.
Yeah.
Lovely food, big greasy burger, and you know, loaded fries full of toppings. And again, we had a conversation of, right, well, we need to be, before we go live with this, we need to change the image. You know?
Yeah.
And that was then when I started making cooking videos at home and post them on TikTok. And Dara would record them.
Yeah.
And you know, this had to make a low calorie carbonara. This had to make it, and they were getting traction, like, you know.
I remember watching them. The carbonara, man, I remember that one specifically. That could have been the one I was talking about. That's bolognese was carbonara. I remember that one.
Yeah, and it was just like, it was kind of, looking back, I probably cringe looking at them now, you know. But it was like, we need to change the image.
I never even thought of that, man. That's so important, because how are you going to go for it? It's like when you watch a movie and you see someone, like I always think the best actors are the ones that you can see them do brilliantly in so many different roles, and you're not like,
they're the good guy and they're the bad guy.
And you're not saying, like, for instance, like Timothée Chalamet, for instance, if you see him in Dune, you don't see him then in Bob Dylan and be like, oh, it's the guy from Dune. You're just like, that's Timothée Chalamet, you know? And that's when I saw when you guys, like, now that you say that, I never even would have thought of that. The fact that, because you're going from big greasy burger, healthy meals.
Exactly.
How does that work?
Exactly.
And then, like you're saying,
they were running, and they were running at the same time for us, you know. So like we used to go on a Monday or Tuesday afternoon. 3 of us would go down to the burger truck and do content. Yeah. And then we come back here. Yeah. You know, so like there has to be a bridge now to. We need to start getting traction on some healthy cooking videos so that this works, you know. And it did work, you know, like we probably did it for a few months while this was getting up to the point where we'd launch. And but it's such a small detail again, you know, like. Man,
I never even would have thought of that. And like literally when you say that's like a penny drop, and I'm like, of course they have to change their image. How are you going to market ready meals when you're making burgers?
Exactly.
Not that like those two things can't be like exclusive of one another, but still.
The thing is when we had the burger truck, like we were using the 5% fat mince, you know, like we were still, it was, if you broke it down, all right, that's a load of protein, it's actually not bad for you, but the image of it is burger truck.
I remember those videos, man, and you'd be looking at the burger and you'd be like, man, that thing is... But like, you'd be thinking, like, even looking at it, you'd be like, that looks bad. But even what you're saying there, if you're using 5% mince like that, and the burger, like, you're still putting stuff in the burger, man. So, like, lettuce, all them kind of things. That's it, yeah. Can't be that bad.
Yeah.
I do love a burger, man.
Yeah. No, they were good. But even though it wasn't bad for you, takeaway food, it's always going to look bad. So there had to be a switch. Yeah. You know, behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So then when you get to the point where you're like, right, we're pivoting now, we're going to start, you know, with well-fed or something like that idea, are you kind of in your head like, geez, I made one thing, but that didn't work. And now you're kind of like, well, what happens if I make another thing and it doesn't work? Now, I know that might necessarily be a pessimistic...
For food, was it? Or?
For just starting up a new business. You've started one and you're like, oh, I thought I made it. And then... oh, well, that didn't actually... And then you come back to it and then you're like, well, now I have to go back to the drawing board again. Are you in that situation then? Are you backing yourself still 100%? Or are you like, man, maybe this is not, like, maybe like getting an actual working, functioning, consistent business model is not that easy?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, we went back to the drawing board. We did what we did again. You know, we built this place, we recorded everything. We just had a better camera this time with Jeff.
Fundamentals are still there.
Yeah.
Fundamentals are still there. Yeah.
Again, instead of 2 of us, now there was 3 of us, but everyone wanted the same thing. Mm-hmm. You know, we all wanted to drive on and see what happens. But of course, coming up to a day or 2 before we opened, of course, I was thinking, well, what if it doesn't work now? You know?
Back to, like, I don't know how many years between, but like 2 or 3 years ago, oh, we're back here again?
Yeah.
Is it going to work?
It was just like, but like, anything could happen. Like, anything you don't know.
Yeah.
And obviously, I thought it was going to be crazy. I probably thought it was going to be 10 times busier than we ever were. But when you're coming up to the fucking starting line, there's always that, like, what if it was just a once-off?
Yeah.
You know?
How do you deal with them then? Like, is that something when it's in your head and you're like, it's that jitters, it's the jitters of, like, you know, you're building up to one big anticipation of something. How do you go about dealing with that? Do you try and turn your head off, or do you try and think of it and be like, man, I've done X, Y, Z. I know what I am. I know who I am. It's fine. Or are you literally just like, James, no?
I think it just has to be numb.
Yeah.
You just have to just think of something, do it. Think of something, do it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You know, like we've had a load of things that maybe didn't hit the way we wanted to hit between Burger Truck and here. You know, different items on a menu or events, you know, or whatever, things that maybe we thought would go away and didn't. Mm-hmm. But you don't even think about it. You go, right, how could that went better? Boom, something else. Now we'll do that. I feel like you just have to just be numb to that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I feel even like, I think it's Thomas Edison, your man, who made the light bulb. I think he had like 200 inventions before he actually made the light bulb. So that's like, you know, he wasn't like on the 150th one, like, man, I made 150 of these, they still don't work. He was like, man, this is actually kind of fun and maybe I might like it, so I'm just going to keep trying and just hope for the best.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And like, you know, even the whole portable chargers thing.
Yeah.
You know, like that fizzled out before we even opened Burger Truck.
Yeah.
You know, like that could have been Jesus, sir, we can't do it. You know?
Yeah.
But it was just like, laugh, right, on to the next. So yeah, I think you can't, as much as you have to be like in go mode and everything, you can't take the hits too hard.
Yeah.
You know, and just as well as you can't take the wins too hard. Because
that's a great point.
Because as soon as there's a win, there's a loss coming around the corner. Like, you know, what was it? There was someone that said, this too shall pass. This too shall pass.
I think was it Tom Hanks talking at a round table or something?
Yeah,
this too shall pass. Man, 100%. I remember I've seen that clip too, and
yeah, like, you know, it's good to celebrate when something goes well, but you know, you have to shake it off now, and you're back in the game now.
Yeah. One of my friends said something. He said, I remember he said it to me. I think it was like I was dealing with FYP and it was really busy and whatever in college. And he was like, well, man, my mother always tells me this, like, nothing's as good or as bad as when you first hear it.
Yeah.
You know, like at the start, you're like, man, that's terrible. Or man, that's class. And then a month later,
yeah,
probably it's going to be like that. Now, maybe it's not. Maybe it's something really bad or really good, and it is going to make
for the majority.
For the majority, man, it's going to be like that.
So yeah, that's just how I think people should think about things.
Yeah.
You know, especially with business, it's so fluctuating. You know, like it could be what's it called? Heat wave.
Heat wave.
Well, like heat wave, and we could have busiest week here. You know, it'd be great, but now the following Monday could be cloudy, and because people spent so much last week, now we're dead.
Yeah, tight pocket this
You
week.
know, so like,
yeah.
and you can't go, what the hell, what happened? You just go, right,
That's how it is.
how Tuesday gonna be? You know, or like, yeah.
So is that playing to expectations then? You know, like, do you have expectations for things? Like, for instance, like, you know, obviously when you started the burger truck, you had a lot of traction on social media. When you started this place, you had a lot of traction on social media. But like, how do you kind of navigate that? How do you not be like, oh, this is going to go great, and then when it doesn't? Because I feel like from what you're saying there, it's more so it's more so expectation than rather the result. If you don't expect something, the result nearly, not that it doesn't matter, but you're not expecting something from it, you know?
Yeah, I feel like where we are now, you kind of know a bit better how something's going to go most of the time.
Yeah, with more experience.
You're always going to have something that goes way better than you thought or way worse than you thought.
Yeah.
I think it's more targets than expectation. Like, you know, we want to have this done by this date.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we went 2 or 3 days over. Fair enough, but we're ready to go now. But we had something to work towards, you know. Or we're doing this event and we want to sell X amount of overnight oats, you know, just for example. All right, we sold way more than we thought and we actually ran out of them. So maybe next time now we'll expand that to the number that we ran out at, or we'll drop it because we didn't sell enough.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's pretty much it. And again, can't get too bogged down.
You can't get too bogged down.
You can't get too bogged down at all, because it's just on to the next.
Yeah. That's all it ever is, man. That's life.
Yeah.
It's always on to the next thing.
It's just on to the next.
Then so here, I don't even know if you'd call this, because this is nearly kind of business to customer in the sense you have the cafe here, but then you also have the kind of business to business setup too. Yeah. I saw one video you posted on your Instagram, just when I was looking into it, because even like I was trying to keep up with what you've been doing, you know what I mean?
Of course, yeah.
Because like I said, I spent that bit of time away from Instagram, which I thought was great. But I saw one of your videos and you said it's far easier to sell 500 meals to one person than to sell one meal to 500 different people. So where does that thought process come in? How does that, is that something that kind of just, you're like, oh, we'll do ready meals, and then after that you're like, oh, well, maybe we can actually sell way more to just one customer? Or was that something at the start you were already thinking of?
Yeah, so obviously we opened here as a ready meal company. Yeah. But we needed something like to set up an anonymous online business. It's going to take a while to get traction. This little cafe was the face. You know, this was so important because you need people to come in, actually see it, turn it around. Oh yeah, that looks grand. Might pick up a can of Coke Zero, or I might get a coffee. You know, and now you have a touch point. Now it's the same thing at the burger truck. Customers come in and they know the girl's working behind the till, or you know, I'm chatting to someone out here. You need that point of contact especially for customers, like
relationship.
Because I'm not going to trust some online business that I've never heard of or never seen before. But when it's only up in Clayboy, I'll go up and I'll see. I won't even get a ready meal. I'll just grab a coffee because I heard this new place and I'll see what it's like. You know, so this was, as you said, the B2C, and the back was still B2C because we were shipping ready meals straight to customers' doors.
Okay.
So at that time we had two businesses under the one roof, but it was all under the same business. Mm-hmm. But one was the cafe and one was the ready meal website, where people would sign up online and they would order the meals for the week and they would get sent out to them. But it was the same thing, you know, like we were still selling, as you said, one meal to 500 people rather than that. So we did. Was that me talking in that video?
Which?
The 500.
Yeah, it would look like a microphone. You were talking. It looked like some sort of like seminar or something like that.
Yeah, that was the local enterprise office thing. Yeah, sorry, I just
that. Yeah. Sorry, yup, Jay's out in the microphone. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, because when you said that, I was like, man, alarm bells are a great idea. You know what I mean? So
yeah. No, because I was thinking, definitely heard that before.
Did
I say that?
Was that me? Yeah.
But yeah, so we were doing well. We had meals going out to customers every week. This place was doing good, and after I think we might have done a talk somewhere, and someone had said, "Oh, would you ever think about doing school meals?" And I was thinking, sure, how would you do that? Like, how would you do school meals? And so then we came up in the office again, 3 of us sitting down all on laptops, looking at how do we do this. You have to get set up as a supplier. It's all done through like government platforms and stuff. So we got set up, and we started applying for different schools, and we did one visit at a school, like because that's what you have to do. You have to go in and like meet the principal and stuff.
Of course.
And we got it. We got the first one.
Wait a second.
Yeah, and it was just like, wow. So now we have a couple of hundred meals going to there, and like.
Just trying.
Just that, yeah.
Just literally, just like someone said, would you do that? Man, surely that wouldn't work.
Yeah.
Wait, maybe that might work.
Yeah.
Maybe I might just try it.
Well, that's it,
100 meals going out the door.
That's it. And we tried it, and we put the same principle in, like you've probably seen all over social media about school meals, shite food, tiny portions.
Sure, remember the Abbey, the Abbey was...
exactly. So like now it's, we had a purpose to go into it.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're doing like, food is fuel.
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly what that needs. It needs proper food. It needs everything that we're doing over here, we need to do over here. So that was that. But when I say you can celebrate the wins, but you have to go back into it, we didn't get another school for months.
So that's where you can't be like, yes, we got the first school, lads, we're getting every school in Ireland. And then you ask 10 other schools, nah, lads.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that was it. It was got the one, oh my God, like, this is easy.
Yeah.
No.
That's also a great exercise in like what expectations, maybe.
Oh,
that's
it's
not
absolutely
right.
fantastic. And it needed to happen because then again, turning point, then it was like, we started getting good at that area. We started getting good at the school meals. We started getting good at maybe marketing us as that, and when you're meeting the likes of teachers and principals, you kind of portray the company as is. Maybe before it was like, this is what we do. We start getting better at it.
Yeah. That's a big thing, man. Being able to speak and being able to talk, especially in them situations. I remember when I saw that video, I was like, man, big up James, because that's a skill that a lot of people, man, like, and I would even say me, like, obviously I'm doing this here now, but like that to me would be something that would make me extremely uncomfortable, but it would be something that I would be interested in doing purely from the point of it's so important to develop that skill.
Yeah, no, it is. It is, absolutely. But that talk I was telling you that we did at the SETU for the business students. Yeah. I was standing outside that room. It was me, Jeff, and Dara, and I was like, shaking. The two boys were grand.
Come on, Jeff, what are you doing? Like?
They were like, it's gonna be grand, and I was just like, oh lads, I don't know, I need a script or something. I was like really nervous. Yeah. And the two boys were like, you'll be grand. Like, as soon as you start talking, you'll be grand.
Yeah.
We got in there anyway, and the next thing, the room started filling up, and my heart's pumping. Yeah. But then you get up and you start talking, and you're grand.
And they are grand.
And then you do a second one somewhere else, and now it's alright. This is actually easy. You're just like I'm talking to you. You're just telling. I suppose it's easier when you're telling like the truth. Like you're talking about your own company.
That always helps. You're like, am I telling the truth here now? Because like, that's a mental play. Like you're trying to jump through all these hoops. But like, if you're telling the truth, man,
well, that's
you're
it.
just telling
And
the
that
truth.
was, I think Jeff said it to me outside that room. He said, "You're talking about our company, like, you know all the answers to the test."
Yeah, like, come on, like, you know what I mean?
So like, when you're meeting clients or anything, it's the same thing. All you're doing is trying to get across as much as you can what we do.
Yeah.
This is how we do the likes of the school meals, and this is how it would help. Yeah. And as I said, turning point. Then it was, yes. But then no. Like, and that's what I say. You can't take
I need to take that fist bump back, man.
Yeah.
Like, no fist bumps. That's going to be my mantra from now on. No more fist bumps.
No more fist bumps.
No more. They're bad for you.
Did you get that? Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, you're like, nah, I don't even care, man.
Yeah, you're acting like you don't care.
Yeah, inside internal fist bumps. Yeah, man.
No, like we always celebrate, when we
Of
get
course,
something.
yeah.
But
Keep the head screwed on then.
all right, why did we not get that other one?
Yeah. Great attitude, man.
Yeah.
Great attitude. But even what I find crazy is, so what age are you going into the business students to talk to?
How old was I?
How old were you guys then around that stage?
I was 22. I think the two boys are a year or two older than me, so 22, 23.
So you were talking to probably other 20-year-olds in and around, let's say, an average age of about 20, let's say. I find it kind of crazy that you're coming out, maybe you want to do business, and if you really do well, now how many people doing business actually want to do business? Because the thing is, man, you're the perfect example of someone who, maybe wanted to do business or didn't want to do business, but you just put your foot in and do it. Do you need the degree to go, do you need a degree to open up the burger truck? Do you need a degree to then come and open up this, start a B2C, start a B2B?
No.
Two very successful, well-marketed companies? To me, I don't know. It feels like you need a permission slip to do something that, quite frankly, you don't need permission to do.
No, you don't. And I've talked to plenty of people, and they say, what you're doing is great. But I just think this is what I do. This isn't to me, great, doing business. It's just if someone came up to me and said, I'm after getting a degree in law, and I got a job in a solicitor firm, I'd be thinking, it's the same thing.
Yeah, that's a great attitude.
You're
man.
also doing great.
That's a great attitude.
I don't think, I always see these videos on TikTok, escape the matrix, leave the 9 to 5 and work from home or work from abroad. That's not the right answer. There is no right answer. And either way, if you're in business or you're a chef or you're working in a bank or whatever, I just hate the mindset of the next level is open a business.
Yeah.
That's somehow the top level.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not your any career and any job has the end goal, and all of the end goals to me are the same. If you put your mind to something and you drive on and you get to the end, fair play.
I suppose maybe then it's a point of people want to leave the 9 to 5. Maybe it's just a case of people just don't want to do the work. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because when I was in my job, I didn't find the main reason I left my job is because I didn't find purpose in the job. And I didn't find any meaning in it. Now I don't know. Can you speak to anything like that and find a purpose and meaning? Because for me, even sitting down here now, this is the second podcast I've done. If you told me to work 40 hours, 50 hours, 60 hours a week doing this, I would jump to it like a fish out of water rather than going up to the old office, sit in front of a computer, do something where I'm not utilising what I think to be my skills in something I don't find meaningful,
Yeah, and look, in saying that, I couldn't work for someone else now.
Yeah.
Just that's just me, because I just want to do something. If I want to do this over here, I want to do it now.
Yeah.
I want to.
Not looking for, you can do that.
Yeah,
no, you need to ask
exactly,
me for permission. You need to do this.
Exactly.
And just go do it, see what happens. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, you get the experience.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And
you're the CEO of that, man. That's you.
Yeah.
That's when I think James O'Mara. That's what I think.
Yeah. But you're taking the risk then with that as well.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
So if this didn't work, it's us now who has to
pick up the pieces,
make the next thing work, because we have to make it work. But that's why I just think whatever someone wants to do, if they're going to put their absolute all into it and they're going to make it to the end, then
doesn't matter. Yeah, business owner doing your own thing, really successful in your own degree, in your own. Yeah, 100%. I agree.
And then it comes back to what is the ambition? Is the ambition to make loads of money? Mm-hmm. Or is the ambition to have summer off? Is the ambition to be able to I don't know, work part-time or work from home? Because then everyone is just finding what they want to do. Yeah. So.
So what's your ambition then? Has that changed? Is that still the same? How is that?
Yeah, I think my ambition would just be to see what I can do next. Now that this is this is going really well, you know, we're always thinking, well, what else can we do? Like, you know, like with the FAI, you know, well,
Unbelievable.
we're doing school meals, we have the cafe. We actually stopped doing ready meals. We only do them here.
Okay.
Yeah. So like we don't do ready meals at a scale at all anymore. We just do a few for the cafe.
Okay.
So we have here schools. You know, we could go out and be like a catering company. You know.
Yeah.
But we don't want to get the name of a catering company. You know, just like cocktail sausages and sandwiches. Nothing wrong with that. But when you're marketing yourself like we are, we need to be a catering company for people that need nutrition.
Yeah, you need to be conscious of what, once again, image.
Image.
What
yes,
image you're pushing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that was when we started working with Waterford GAA. We started working with Waterford FC, and then we got in contact with the FAI and we tendered for that, and we were up against other proper catering companies, you know?
Yeah.
That, like, when I say proper, I mean like that have been in the game longer than we were. But we went up against them, and whatever they saw we had better.
Yeah.
You know? Maybe it was the fact that we had good food and we were focused on nutrition. You know, and we ended up winning it, and that's now flying. You know, so there's always on to the next thing.
And even you say there, it's actually led me to the next blog, which is perfect. Competitors. So the burger truck, I don't know how many, well, obviously takeaways and stuff, how many takeaways are there? Loads of competition there. You're in competition then with people for the FAI meals, for let's say the schools or whatever. Are you consciously like, oh, well, what are the competitors doing here? What are they doing there? How are they pushing their stuff? Or are you like, don't care what you're doing, I'm doing my thing and I'm blazing my own path? Or is it somewhere in between?
I probably was like that when I was younger.
Yeah, the latter of like just
3 years ago.
But younger.
Yeah, years ago. No, like when it started out, it was probably don't care what anyone else is doing.
We're doing
this is us, and we're going to make the best out of that. But like when we've got to, I suppose, the level that we're at now, where you know, like our competitors are like massive companies. You know, what are they doing? How did they get up there? You know, like is there more to it? Could we be doing more? It's vital now, you know. How are they marketing themselves? How are they moving with the times? You know, how are they reacting to if somebody made a TikTok video about how bad the school meals are in general? How did they react to that, or did they just not react to it? You know, even though it might not be talking about them, just it's in their area. You know, small things like that, like. How are they reacting, or you know, how are they doing fun days for the schools? Are they, you know, sponsoring stuff?
Of course.
So yeah, it's absolutely vital to look around and see what everyone is doing.
Yeah, well, I feel like that's good for calibration. You know, like at the same time, you need to obviously be your own thing. But if you're trying to figure out, you know, if everyone else is doing something in this general idea and they're doing well, it probably makes sense now not to copy them. And then even that kind of leads to the next point. At what point then are you like, well, you know, I like that idea and I like that template, but I can't take exactly what they're doing because that's just copy paste.
Well, that's it, yeah. And like we have our goal is, as I said, food for fuel. You know, that's no matter what we're doing in different sectors, that is what we drive forward with.
That's no matter what, everything leads back up the tree.
Yeah, so like the food that we give you, it's going to fuel you for the day. So as long as we can stick to that, and we can stick to, you know, being what we started off as to a certain degree of, it's real food, you know, it doesn't have to exactly be high protein, but like it's nutritious. We can take little snippets from, like, you know, marketing ideas and, you know, stuff like that, but other than that, as long as you're staying to your ethos, like, for us anyway.
I think that's pretty sound advice, yeah. We'll try and wrap this up now somewhat soon. I want to go to just two last points, and I think we've kind of talked about this already, and you talked about this. Looking back on everything, would you have liked to have changed how you did anything in the round? It doesn't have to be like specific things, but maybe just how you approached certain, like for instance, the expectation thing, any of that kind of stuff. Would you have preferred to have done it differently, or are you happy that you've done everything the way you've done up until now?
I'm fairly happy with everything that I've done, not because we've done everything right, just because it's led to now.
Yeah.
You know.
100%.
There it could go back and change the details, or could have started earlier. You know, but like everything that we've done has led to
this point.
Yeah. You know, so like it'd be hard to change anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Does anything change with you then as a person coming from starting to now, or would you say you're still fairly the same kind of?
No, I wouldn't. I'd say I've changed. I suppose looking at it now, like, you know, as the business progresses, you know, obviously we went from the burger truck and then having two, and then we sold the burger truck, and now it's Well Fed, and Well Fed is growing at a great rate. It's kind of more like you're looking at it, not like more serious, you know, but it's like, right, we're not two young lads on the promenade.
Professionalism maybe is.
Yeah, you know, we're in meetings. You know, we have things that happen every single day. You know, you're meeting with different clients. It's got a lot more serious than how we started out in Tremor.
I think someone's getting fried. He's getting fried, boy. We need one of them hanging down right here. I hope the mics pick that up, man. That's so funny.
But yeah, that's it. I think it's just we started off, you know, myself and Dara. You look back in the videos, I look like I'm 15 back then.
Yeah,
you know,
you probably do. Yeah,
we're all joking around and everything, and over time it just falls into this. Right, well, this is serious now.
Yeah. But man, I mean,
you know, Well Fed is nationwide now. You know, like we're in schools all over the country.
There must be some self-satisfaction in that, man. You started with phone chargers, and you are now supplying school meals and FAI meals.
Yeah, but that goes back to my point of have your business plan, but fucking step by step, like, you know, because if I had have followed the business plan, Jesus, we'd be nowhere near.
But sure, if you look too far down the line, you never know.
No,
you never know what's going to happen, though.
No,
you know what I mean?
can't.
Like that person walking in the door coming in for the coffee. Sure, do you ever think about doing? I don't know how it happened, but do you ever think about doing the school meals? Get a load of this guy.
Well,
like,
exactly,
like that makes no sense. And then you think about it, and you're like, oh well, let's try and do that. And you're not this, you're this. You know what I mean? You're open to the possibility of that, which I think is
when
is
it comes to Well Fed ready meal, a company that's now not serving ready meals anymore. You know, like that's how quick things. That's how reactive you need to be.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, you can't look too far down the line. It has to be right. What's the next step?
Yeah. But that's man. You can only look one. Like, where's like the best thing to be doing? Where's the best place to put my foot next?
Yeah.
Like, obviously you need to look somewhat down the line, but at the same time,
a general plan.
But if you get too caught up in that, you'll probably just find a load of reasons to not keep doing what you're doing now.
Yeah, exactly.
You need to just find out.
So how would I even get to that?
Which is that right there? I feel like is literally the most parasitic way to think of. Oh, sure, how would I even do it? But like, just do it and see if it happens, and you see where you. I mean, that's what I'm going to try and do with this. Like, don't think I'm going to be Joe Rogan in the morning, but like, you know what I mean?
Man, step by step.
Step by step, and that's all I'm worried about. And if I like doing it, like I said to you, brings me more meaning in the office.
I actually think that these kind of like conversational podcast interviews would be deadly. Like, especially starting out, like somewhere like Waterford, somewhere where like people know, oh yeah, that fella, you know, he either owns that or he done the client.
I'm waiting on John Milan. John Milan, where is he? I'm waiting on him.
But things like where people know, oh Jesus, I know that fella. I'm not saying that people know who I am now, but like,
no, you are. The Well Fed boys are a known group, like.
But like people want to watch them, you know, because it's not like, oh, Joe Rogan is interviewing what's his name, Shane Gillis.
Shane Gillis. Yeah.
It's funny, but like you don't know who they are.
Yeah, but even for like starting out as well, I think like even at the moment, like the list of guests that I'm gonna try and get on are kind of Waterford centric for the moment, because like man, like not to get all like. I don't even know what the word is, but like, man, let's go Waterford. You know what I mean? Like, I spend all my time here in Waterford. If I can get to talk to people in Waterford that I'm interested in, man, and I can help them out or they can help me out, man, it's all a symbiotic relationship. That's what I want. You know what
absolutely.
I mean? So,
absolutely. But then also people watching going, you know, say in this one specifically, oh yeah, geez, I actually wouldn't mind doing that. You know, I wouldn't mind doing that. So I think it's great, man. And look, if there's anything that I can do along the way, let me know.
I'm trying so hard not to fist bump right now.
No fist bumps.
No fist bumps. That's the one condition. Yeah, okay. Now that's kind of everything I wanted to go through in the long form. I'm probably going to keep this in the podcast form anyways. I've got about 7 short questions that like it's probably just going to be for like clips and stuff like that.
Go for it.
So it's going to be pretty quick fire. First one, and I feel like
quick fire. If I start rambling, put me back in.
we're setting up the minute timer. No more. But I don't mind if you go too far on it either, because I'm interested in hearing what you have to say.
You can clip it out.
Shut up, James. This is the shut up, James section. No one cares. Yeah. So what's the first thing? What's something you had or you didn't have that you would have wished you had at the
knowledge? Is it? Is that
yeah, something like that, like a piece of knowledge or a piece of information or something, or maybe it could even be like 10 million euros.
1 billion euro.
Oh, 1 billion euros, please.
It's going to be a lot of fucking work.
Yeah, but man, that's the whole thing. Like when you say 60, 70-hour weeks, like man, some people just they can't do that. They're not cut out for that, you know.
Yeah.
So.
And it has to be that, you know. It can't be. Oh, sure, you know, I'll just run it on the side. You know, and I'm sure some people do that, and it works. But our goal was full throttle. You know, and if you want to go full throttle, it can't be 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You know, you have to be there for like, when was this? Last month, Jeff called me saying that it was raining in the cafe. That the floor was like 2 inches of water. This was 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
Terrible news.
Yeah.
Terrible news.
I came up, you see that light up there?
Yeah.
You see where it's hanging down?
Oh, I see where it's hanging down.
That's a result, because the whole ceiling had, like, the boiler had burst upstairs.
Oh man.
Whole ceiling was flooded, dripping down, like it was an absolute mess. Burst in this door at 4 o'clock in the morning. Where do you even start? Run upstairs, trying to find the boiler, finally got the water off. But you need to be ready to go, like, you know? Like, it's just, man, we've tried to plan this 2 other times. You know, and I can't do it because
you're just out the door busy.
Exactly. Like,
problem and response, that's kind of where you have to be. And you have to be willing to respond to that problem when it comes up. It's not 4 o'clock in the morning. James, it's actually a waterfall coming through the roof of Wellfed. And you're like, sure, I'll be 4 more hours, I'll be in at 8, I'll be in at 9. You know, that's never going to happen.
No, so yeah, you have to be, it's a lot of work. That's the answer.
Yeah, okay. At what point do you stop caring what people thought? Or are you still kind of in that realm?
Video number 1 back in Burger Truck.
You gotta let it all go then?
Just leave it go. It doesn't matter.
Man, it doesn't matter.
It does not matter.
It doesn't matter.
We, like, I suppose our content has changed a lot with here. It's a lot more professional, you know. It's not Dara on top of the Burger Truck, you know, screaming it down O'Connell Street. You know, or like stupid stuff, because our clientele is different now. But other than that, other than us being professional, like, you know, being professional in the marketing, don't care what anyone says. You know, any comment or, you know, like, it's a bit different now. It's easier now because, you know, it worked. You know, but back at the start,
you're making yourself look like potentially a fool, but
who's your man?
Who's your man?
Who's your man? Who does he think he is like?
Who's your man itis? That's what's going to be. Because even when I started this, man, I was like, are they going to be like, who's your man? But then at the same time, man.
Listen, but it's who's your man until it works.
Man, it's always that way. It's crazy until it works.
Yeah.
Everything's crazy until it works.
But if you don't do it, it'll be, sure, your man's or not, isn't he? You know, so like, I know what side I'd rather be on.
And I think this is me doing this now and starting. This is me knowing what side I want to be on.
Yeah, so no.
Yeah, don't care about that.
No.
Even now, we kind of just talked about it there. What would you say to someone sitting on an idea who keeps finding reasons not to start?
If you're going to go in hard. If you're finding enough ideas not to do it,
you want it.
Maybe there's a reason. You know, maybe it is just an idea.
Which is fine too, I suppose.
And look, there's no problem with that. There is no problem with that whatsoever. But yeah, make sure that you want to do it because once the ball starts rolling, like, I couldn't imagine going back to the social media, posting all the stuff, and the next thing just never hear from him again. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so if you are going to go in, like, drive on.
Pull hard.
Pull hard.
Pull hard.
Pull hard.
Bad days.
Plenty of them.
Which one? Where will we start? But how do you You know, and I think you said that like even before. Heat wave, the week you're out the door.
Yeah.
You're out the door, and then the next week nothing comes in the door. So you know, maybe we'll call that a bad day. Maybe that's not even a bad day for you. But what is a bad day, and how do you deal with a bad day?
It's a bad day could be anything. Like, you know,
Waterfall.
That's a perfect example.
No.
Yeah, perfect example. It could be stock order coming in late. You know, and we're under pressure. Look, we have a great team here. That's one thing. Like, I don't know if you asked me before or now how many staff we have. We'll have like 16 in September.
You were saying that, yeah.
We have a great team. You know, at the start when we needed 20 people and we only had 5, me, Jeff, Dara, and the 2 boys drove on. You know, like it's very important to have a good team. It goes back to the same point about the business partners. When you grow a bit more and you start hiring, you need to make sure that you have good lads there. Like, you know, like when we were up at the FAI, you know, and like when we're up at the FAI every week now, there's no thinking, oh, what if something doesn't go well, because I know the lads are brilliant. You know,
having that confidence, it's nearly like what would you call it? It's like your safety belt nearly, or something. If something goes wrong, the boys are there. You're all each other's safety belts. You know what I mean? Like you're all.
Yeah, not the boys and the girls. You know, we have.
Oh yeah, sorry, man. When I say the boys, I'm literally talking like I call the girls the boys. Or I probably should say the girls.
Yeah, no.
I just be saying the boys in like the whole sense.
Yeah, but like
just people.
Oh, the people.
Just the people.
The people
but
are
I'm
great.
saying the boys. Like I think that's a Waterford thing too, man. Or I don't know.
No, but we've a very strong team, and that has been probably the number one reason why we've grown so quickly. Like, you know, team, yeah, because like if there's a day where me, Jeff, and Dara all have to be on the road in different places, I know cafe is going to be absolutely fine. Fridge will still be stocked. The boys in the kitchen will have everything under control, and everything will be ready for tomorrow morning without even having to be asked. You know,
and that saves so much mental stress and mental exhaustion.
It wouldn't be possible.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
What was the question?
What does a bad day look like? But your answer is saying you're dealing with that through the people you have around.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
like a bad day could be anything, but
as you're saying,
having a strong team, that's
having the individual people on the different nodes or points that you know. Like for instance, something happens in the cafe, one of the girls is going to deal with it. Exactly. Something happens out the back, well, your man at the back is the man. He's going to deal with it.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Final one. What has building something shown you about people?
What has building something shown me about people?
So, for instance, are people trying to tear you down more? Are people actually really far more supportive of you? Is, you know, like you're saying there, the team is so important. All these things that you mightn't have known at the start. What for that is kind of the...
We've got a lot of support.
A lot of support?
We really have, yeah. Like you know, you can say people will try and tear you down on social media. I think that's a small group.
Yeah.
You know, they shout the loudest, but it's a small group. The majority of people, like we've got a lot of support here. You know, like when we first opened up, both Burger Truck and here, you know, we had a lot of people come to the open days. You know, we had people sending messages, and now we have people that come through the door every day. Now they come in because they get a good service and they get a nice cup of coffee, or
it's in their interest too.
You know, their child gets a nice school meal, whatever. It goes both ways, but we got a lot of support, and the other side of that then is the staff. The staff then show back to the likes of the customers and stuff. You know, so I think beforehand I might have thought, oh, you know, everyone will be doubters, you know, and maybe they were. Maybe they just didn't tell me,
or maybe on the phone.
Maybe I just wasn't listening.
Yeah. Which is a good thing.
Yeah. But no, I definitely don't think that it's a case of like, you start something and you're getting a load of bad comments and people being like, oh, you're never gonna make it. It's just, you definitely get a lot more support than you think.
Yeah. Okay, well, man, that is all.
That's everything.
Pleasure.
Absolute pleasure.
Great fun, guys. Thank you for listening. If anyone is still here to this point, next episode coming hopefully soon.